welcome to Random Thoughts. It's been a while since Chicago. I am back in my studio, as you can tell. The normal backdrop is here. And yeah, it was a very insightful trip. It was a business trip. I had no idea what to expect. Outside, I knew it was gonna be training, but outside of that, it was like a whirlwind, like something just hit me by surprise. I did not expect friendships to happen out there, but yeah, certainly did, which is a great thing. God works in mysterious ways, and He puts certain people in your life when you need them, and vice versa. So, but that's not what the topic is today. We're going to talk about how my overthinking mind works. I'm going to try to explain this as best I can. I'm only trying to explain it now because it's in overdrive, even worse than before. So, that's something. I think I'm suffering from, like how Chip, when he was a puppy, how they call it, separation anxiety. I think that is what's going on here. But anyway, how does my overthinking mind work? Well, I'll try to give an example. Just making up just a random scenario. Because in the past, you see, overthinking it destroyed friendships and relationships and everything because my overthinking mind, not only do I overthink, but wherever the overthinking thoughts take me, I take that, what's the word? I take I listen to what's going on inside there, even though I could start in point A and the overthinking takes me all the way to Z and back around 20 times. And instead of taking that advice, I should not, because I react to what went on inside of my overactive mind, and that is a very bad, dangerous thing. That is why, or that is how you always be a loner with this going on. I've never met anyone who actually understood what I'm going through when it comes to overthinking, but I have, which is very, very good. I'm still overthinking though. Like even as we're speaking right now, my mind is going a mile a minute. So let's say, and that's the other thing. So some people you'll meet, or I'll meet. I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but some people you'll meet, and it will take time for the friendship to progress to a point where you're clicking or bonding, for lack of a better word. And then there's others where it's almost like instantly. It's almost like you knew this person in another time and place because there's no way that you would just meet and the bond is so overpowering. It's like insane. So I think about that stuff. Like I wonder if I've met some of these people because just like sometimes you'll run into someone that you just don't like them for. Like I worked with this lady one time. What's a Maria? And this lady hated me for no reason. So I have to believe that maybe in some other life we were enemies or something. Because for no reason, and she even told me, I mean, once she worked with me and she got to know me and she liked me, but she just told me that it wasn't really anything I did. She just didn't like me. And so, just like how you can run into people that you just don't like, the opposite happens. You run into people that you really like and they really like you too, and then the friendship is just really good. But again, this overthinking mind can ruin things like that. It's done it in the past. The overthinking mind has ruined great friendship bonds, best friends even as well. Ruined it because I could not stop from overthinking things like, why do you have to think about everything? Like, for instance, I don't know, let's just say we'll just text every day or whatever. And then I'll start thinking, well, saying like, okay, I wonder if this person is getting sick of me texting. Maybe they want to some space, or maybe they don't want me to call so much, or maybe, and then I start going down this road like, okay, maybe this person is annoyed, and then I convince myself that this person is annoyed, and so therefore I just stop cold turkey. I won't call or text. I'll wait for them, but then they probably think that something is wrong, and then I overthink the whole thing, and by all this time, so much time has passed, you may have damaged the relationship because of the nonsense. Why does it matter who calls? If I believe, if you're close with someone and they want space or whatever, I think they will tell you because you have that close relationship, and they won't say it in a nasty way, but they will let you know. And so I can't turn off this stupid overthinking mind. It's just really hindered so many friendships and relationships. It's just insane. I literally will just keep keep it thinking throughout the whole day. I will just keep thinking of different scenarios in my head, which there's no way of me even knowing that this is what's going on with them, because I'm not a mind reader. I can't read someone's mind and say, okay, I think they're annoyed with me. I think my overthinking mind just makes me think, okay, would I be annoyed? And then that doesn't always work because I don't have the same thoughts and feelings someone else has. And so it's like I'm talking to myself almost internally, like arguing with myself, like, why are you beating yourself up? You're overthinking it. You don't need to overthink it. Just let things be, and if it's not going to be, then it's not going to be, but stop overthinking it. Like, I literally wrote an entire album in hours. I wrote 9 songs in mere 4 or 5 hours, and completed my fall album. That's insane. That's what happens when my overthinking mind is on. It's overclocking. Now, yeah, it is good for my music, but I've been talking, and if I do other things, it's not going to hinder my creativity, because that's one of the things I was worried about when I spoke with my friend there, my good friend. I said, if I do this thing, will this hinder my creativity? Because the overthinking actually helps the creativity, but when you look at it, no one should be writing that many songs in one day. It's insane. The lyrics just wouldn't stop. It just wouldn't stop, folks. It was everywhere. It just wouldn't stop. It just kept flowing and flowing and flowing. I couldn't stop it. So I think that it's just too much. I cannot turn the brain off. Please turn off. It really, really is something, because it's not. I've never known normal though, because my brain has always worked like this, even as a kid. So to me, this is normal. But from what I'm being told, it's not normal to have your brain overclocking like a computer, gaming computer. Speaking of which, I'll be doing that pretty soon, so that'll be pretty cool. At least I could interact that way. Um, Long distance stuff is really I think I really do have separation anxiety, but I guess it's something I'm going to have to deal with. I'm going to have to deal with the separation anxiety because that is the only thing that's because when I went away and I left Chip, I was fine the first week, but then the second week, the separation anxiety kicked in overdrive. And then when I bonded with a new friend, and now it's time to separate from them, and now I'm having anxiety separation from that as well, separation and anxiety. So it's like, oh, does it ever end? What is going on here? Oh man, it's such a mess. I hate, but there are things I can do about it. I know in the past I tried what did it call it? SSI. I'm not even sure if I'm saying the right name. And some of them made me think suicidal thoughts. So even though you weren't supposed to stop taking it immediately, I'm not gonna keep thinking suicidal thoughts and then lashing out, or it's not really lashing out, but making involuntary noises that I couldn't stop. That was embarrassing. So I guess if I could find the right one to work, I guess I don't know, but I just know that I do not want to go there again. I do not want overthinking to kill friendships anymore because good friends are hard to find, and I found a pretty cool friend here. And if I overthink every aspect, it's going to suck, in a lack of better words. And so I don't want to overthink this anymore. So I'm going to continue to have these inner battles with myself until I'm able to do something about it and get the mind to slow down because it's just crazy. I mean, I can just sit here for hours and create situations in my mind that's not even a situation. And it's not a good thing. It really isn't. Because there's no going back. And I've never been the type of person to go back. Even if it was my fault and the friendship or the relationship dies, as badly on the inside it would kill me, I would just take my lumps, go through my little depression, and then pick up the pieces. But they say every 7 to 10 years, a person changes the way they think, and I don't want to think like that anymore. I don't want to be a clinger where if it's not working, I cling, but I also don't want to destroy because I keep overthinking things every single second. Like, why can't I just call without thinking, okay, I wonder if this person's annoyed, or why can't I just say, yo, you want to talk? You have a few seconds to talk? I'm sure that he wouldn't mind, but it's just in my head. The clockwork is just spinning like all the possible scenarios I could think of. Like, what if he's spending time with his girlfriend, or what is he family time, picnicking? All kinds of stuff goes into my head. I'm like, I'm just gonna be a nuisance. Why? Because I want to just talk a little bit. So all these crazy things, and I mean, to an extent, it could be true, but I don't know these things. I should stop overthinking things. I mean, when you have friends, you're supposed to be able to talk about things, and I think that if these things were an issue, that I would have known already, because he's a very upfront and he doesn't lie, and that's a good friend to have. Someone who just is honest and upfront and they don't lie just to make things up. So I need to stop with the overthinking already. It is driving me bananas, like bananas. And I think really the overthinking, and I really do know I'm pretty certain that it's separation anxiety, like my dog had, that I had the second week when I missed my dog, and now that I'm back here, I mean, I already felt this. I know it because I felt the separation anxiety the minute when the limo, because he's going on a different airline than mine, and he was getting out the limo first. So the second the limo stopped, I knew he was going. The anxiety kicked in instantly. I mean, it was bad, but yeah, that's just the way how things goes. There's a plan for everything. That's the way I have to look at it. There's a plan for some. There's some scheme and plan going on that I don't know about. That's supposed to happen. Because, like I said, there are some people you meet that you hate them instantly, and I've met people like that, where I've never met the person, but the instant anger or emotion that I just did not like them, but it wasn't one-sided. That's the thing. That's why I believe, for some reason, with some people you either met in a different life, which I don't know if as Christians we're supposed to believe that or not, but I know something is going on, whether our spirits met in a different life or whatever, but there are some people that you meet and you cannot stand them. Then there's others where, like I said, right off the bat, it's like two strong magnetic poles that just can't be pulled apart. And when pulled apart, the energy to pull it apart is just such a force that's so difficult that it's almost impossible. And it's not a good thing because I've had this happen before, although I didn't cope with it very well. But I am somewhat coping with it a lot better now. Like before, it would be so bad, I would literally just not do anything. Would sit in a room and just do nothing and just sit there. And I found myself almost straying that way. But I said, nope, you gotta snap out of this. It's time to go. Let's get up. You're overthinking it. All you gotta do is just, it's a text, a phone call, a Snapchat away. There's no need for this. Stop with the nonsense. Stop with the BS. So this is how I'm talking to my overclocking mind, and you can imagine that there's always an answer, and that's what makes it go on for hours and hours and hours, because I will come up with something that I feel is logical, and then the overthinking mind is gonna completely smack it right down, and that's how it works. It's almost humorous when you think about it, but if it wasn't so insane, it would be tragic. I mean, I did get a full album. I love the album. There's one song to look out for on there. I'll probably do a music video to that one. Actually, I'm not gonna mention it. It's a long ways before I release that one. I still gotta release the summer album. So anyway, I say all this to say overthinking. So I still didn't really tell you how it works. This is the only way to explain it. I don't know how it works. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you how the brain works. I could just tell you how it works inside my head, and I could tell you that the closer the bond, the stronger the bond, the worse the overthinking, the worse it is, because how it would. That's why it came to a point where I just don't want any more best friends, because it's completely, if it's overblown now, when I have a best friend, it's like off the charts overblown, and that's why my best friends normally don't last that long. I don't think I, for some reason, I've always had kept good friends and great friends around for years and years and years and years and years and years. But with best friends, it doesn't last that long. Maybe 3 to 4 years tops. But that's because, see, in my head, which which is you'll think that it's kind of crazy because I'm conservative and I'm not supposed to categorize things in my mind, but in my mind there's certain levels to friendships, and so a best friend is at the top of that pinnacle there, and therefore everything is turned up a notch. So everything that's said and done is like under a microscope, for lack of a better word, which is nowhere to be, and just leads to arguments and fights. And so that's why I like just having good friends. Although sometimes friendships grow, you can't really help it. It's not up to me. It's just friendship is going to progress or degress, and so you can't keep fighting it. Maybe, who knows? This is a test from God. He wants me to know how to deal with this thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying here. But anyway, right now my mind is not. It's just too. It's everywhere. It's right now. If you could see inside there, it's like a party going on in there, and the money's raining inside there. It's just insane, man. Oh man. Anyway, I don't think I have much more to say on this. Do you overthink? Let me know if you overthink. And yeah, that's it. I will see you. Here we go. Don't you know? Ran the fall.